If you're planning to visit Europe this summer, here are 7 mistakes you must avoid. So I just got back from spending about a month in Europe. I've been to Europe many times. I've actually lived in Spain for a couple years. And these are things that I live by and swear by to have a pleasant trip to Europe, because traveling to Europe in the summer can be so amazing, but of course it is high season, so there are a lot of obstacles and different things that you're gonna have to deal with that you may not account for, but make sure you follow all these tips, and especially the last one, it is the most important, so make sure you watch until the end of the video to have an enjoyable stay or trip to Europe. So my 7th tip is to not overpack. Overpacking is the worst thing you can do in Europe because the shopping is so amazing. The fashion there is ahead of what we have here in the US usually, and there are so many amazing boutiques. And even the stores like Zara, H&M, and all of those are from Europe, so they usually have better styles and better prices. So make sure you take a half-empty suitcase and go shopping while you're there. Trust me, you're gonna wanna do this because I have packed all the outfits that I thought I wanted or needed before my trip so many times, only to find cuter, better, cheaper things there, wanting to buy them and not having space in my suitcase. The second mistake to avoid is to not put an AirTag in your luggage. So an AirTag is a little device, you can get it from Apple. I also have one linked in the description on Amazon, which is where I got mine, along with a case. This is used to track items, things like your suitcase, which is so crucial if you are checking a bag. I just got back from Europe, like I said, and on my way back, I had flight cancellations. They lost my luggage. I got stuck overnight in 2 different cities that I had no intention of spending more than an hour or 2 in, like Amsterdam and New York. And if I did not have an AirTag in my luggage, I would not have known where it was because they used the AirTag to locate my suitcase in the end. So please get an AirTag. They're around $20 and you will have so much more peace of mind. You'll be able to track your suitcase if you're checking a bag and at least know where it is. You'll feel so much better about everything. And people's luggage are going missing left and right. So trust me, you're gonna wanna do this. To go along with that, I want to add packing some extra clothes and your travel essentials in your backpack or carry-on as well. I did not know that I was going to get stuck overnight in Amsterdam, and I only had a few things with me, no extra clothes or anything, so I had to go out and buy those, but be prepared for delays or canceled flights because they happen more often than you think. And also be very prepared for extremely busy airports because everyone is going to Europe right now and lines are extremely long. So if you're one of those people like me who likes to show up right before the flight takes off, think again, especially because you're going to be going through border control if you're traveling within Europe. Each time you leave a country, you have to go through passport control, and that takes a lot of time too. So a lot of extra time, AirTags, and pack your essentials in your carry-on. Third mistake is to not get travel insurance. I have far too many friends, which is really sad to say, who have gotten into very bad accidents while in Europe, riding motos, Vespas, even in cars, or even just out partying and doing reckless things or getting hit or getting sick by the food. There are so many ways that you can get injured, hurt, or sick while you are traveling. And I always have travel insurance now. I used to not, but it's honestly one of the best things that I've done because I've had to make use of it multiple times. And it's actually a lot more affordable than you would think. I know a lot of us probably think about health insurance, dental insurance, and all of that, and it can be quite pricey here in the US, but travel insurance isn't as expensive. I use Safety Wing and I really love them because they make digital nomad travel insurance, and I am a digital nomad, and it's around $45 a month, which is really inexpensive in comparison to hospital fees or doctor bills. So I would just get it for a peace of mind. If you want to check out Safety Wing, I'll leave a link down below, but trust me, you're going to want to get travel insurance. The 4th mistake to avoid is packing your itinerary full. Traveling is exhausting, and I'm such a huge advocate of slow travel. That's all I talk about, and that is the best way to travel because you really get to experience a place. And when you're in Europe, there's going to be tons of long lines and people everywhere, and it's already going to be very overstimulating, especially if you're going to multiple cities. So I would highly suggest slow travel. Don't try and go on a full European tour where you're in each city for 2 to 3 days and you're moving around a lot and you're just gonna exhaust yourself. Try to move slower, try to spend a week if you can. And once you arrive in a destination, you will find hidden gems that you're gonna wanna try, whether it be restaurants or different sites or places that locals tell you to go watch the sunset or to have a drink or all these things. So make sure you leave space in your itinerary for that. You don't want to just be museum hopping or hopping from one site to another, because that's not where you're going to make those core memories. Where you're going to make those core memories are when you're aimlessly wandering through the neighborhood that your Airbnb is in and you stop to talk to a shopkeeper and they tell you about their family-owned restaurant down the street and that it's been around for 100 years. Those are the beautiful memories that you probably dream of making on these kinds of trips. So allow space for those to happen, because you're not going to remember going to see every single museum in Florence. I encourage you to get bored in a destination, wander through the streets, talk to strangers, and just try new things that you didn't expect you would do, because this is truly the best way to experience a new place. The fifth mistake not to make is to travel to popular destinations during high season if you're trying to travel on a budget. Italy, Spain, Rome, these cities and countries, prices might multiply 2 to 5 times during high season because the demand is so high. So if you're on a tight budget, these are not the places that you would want to go during this time. You might want to try smaller towns or places that aren't as popular and then visit these bigger cities when the demand is not so high. You're going to end up spending a lot more on accommodations, a lot more on food, on tours, on access to the different sites that you want to see. And it's just going to be a lot more crowded. So make sure to account for the prices of the places that you want to go. And if you do really want to visit these really popular destinations during this time, make sure you book very far in advance, because you can save a lot of money by doing this. Booking last minute tickets, accommodations, flights, etc. can be extremely expensive. So plan accordingly and try to go off the beaten path if you don't have the budget for this. The sixth mistake not to make is not using a travel credit card. Foreign transaction fees are extremely high and they are very real. And let's remember, using a travel credit card gets you points. So it's basically like you're earning money by traveling, because you can use these points towards your next flight, towards your next trip, whatever it is. It pays for itself in a way. If you have an annual fee, whatever it is, make sure you use a travel credit card and you're earning those points, and you're also maximizing it, because a lot of times you're earning 2 times or 3 times the point for travel and dining. But I have a full credit card guide linked down below, and I have videos on credit cards as well. And the guide is completely free, so use it to your advantage. Check it out and see which credit card suits you best, and make sure you sign up for it. Just so you know, in my course that's coming out on how to become a digital nomad, I have all of the travel hacks and tips regarding all of this and so much more, along with my ebook, which is already out, and you can find that down below as well. But if you're looking for budget tips and travel hacks, the ebook is seriously like gold. Gold, gold, gold. Check it out. And the seventh and final mistake to avoid is traveling to Europe during the summer. Yes, I said it. Traveling to Europe during the summer is not the best time, in my opinion, to travel to Europe. I love Europe in the shoulder seasons, the spring, the fall, towards the end of summer, towards the beginning of summer, because summer in Europe, as amazing as it sounds and as popular as it is trending, and everyone wants to be there and everyone is there, which makes it so much more expensive and so much more crowded, and it's hot, and you're just going to spend so much more and be engulfed in crowds. If you want to do this, do it. I just did it. I did it last year as well. And the reasons I did it was because I was going with groups. There were certain events I wanted to attend. I went to Mykonos and I saw Kind Music in Mykonos, and I did this thing in Saint-Tropez, and it was all so much fun and an experience that I could have only had during the summer because of the people that I went with. But if you are just going with a significant other, your partner, by yourself on a solo trip, I cannot recommend going during the shoulder seasons enough. The prices will be 3 times less expensive. There won't be crowds. You'll be able to get an incredible, beautiful accommodation, and there are still events happening, and the weather is still so nice during these months. So trust me, if it's your first time in Europe, if you're on a budget, go during the shoulder seasons. You will feel so much better about it. and you're gonna have an incredible time. And of course, I have a whole series of itineraries called hotspots. So these are itineraries that I make personally that have all the if you know, you know places, because I love finding those places and traveling in that way. And there are hyperlinks to everything so you can book directly, accommodations, etc. And they're all linked on my Stan store. They're like $10 each and you can plan your whole trip with them. But if you want a customized itinerary or help from me, I can help you with that in a travel consultation, which you can also book below, and we can hop on a Zoom call and plan it out and create an itinerary for you as well. But I hope you found this video extremely helpful. If you have any questions, leave them below. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm posting all of my European content over there. I didn't vlog for YouTube on this trip, but I did for TikTok and Instagram, and I'm sharing a lot more tips there as well. So make sure you connect with me. Lastly, sign up for my waitlist for how to become a digital nomad, where I teach you how to travel full time, earn an income online, and build a career and a lifestyle that you are absolutely in love with, and do it sustainably. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Bye.